All right, in this video, I'm going to share how I got my first rental property for free that now pays me $559 a month profit. I got into real estate investing in 2022. This was my first property that I bought, and this is the strategy that I used. And it's still a core part of my strategy in real estate today. I'm also doing some other things, which I'll talk about in some other videos. Right now, I'm working on a new construction ground up build to sell project. And so we bought some land. We're building a luxury single family home that we're going to sell for a couple $1,000,000, hopefully. But this is the strategy that I started with, and it's still a core part of my strategy today. So basically what I did was I was looking in Ohio in C-grade neighborhoods. So this is a property that I found. It was $60,500. It was sent to me from a real estate agent in that area. And I bought it for $60,500 cash, and I put $10,000 into the rehab. So this rehab was just getting it rent ready. Now, if you don't have cash, you can also use 0% business credit cards. I'll have a separate video on the strategy around that. Or you could use a hard money loan. Hard money loans are higher interest short-term loans, typically 9.5% to 11%. I don't like to use them if I don't have to, but that is an option. You're going to have to pay a bit more on the interest payments, but that is an option if you don't have cash to buy a house in full. Now, in this area, you can see home prices have appreciated over the last just few years, couple years. This is his estimate. It isn't 100% accurate, but my house did appraise for pretty close to this. So you can see went from $60,500 to an estimated value now of $121,500. So I'm going to share why that's important in a second. But this is what I bought it for. This is what I spent on the rehab. It was slightly above $10,000, but I'm just using $10,000 for round numbers. And then I went and I got it rented for $1,490 a month, $1,490 a month. So you can see right now it's still rented out. This is the property. This is April, May, and June. And now we're in July, so I'm waiting on the rent payment for that. But $1,490 a month. Now you might be asking, how can you get such high rent for a property that was only $60,500? Well, we are renting it out to affordable housing, to Section 8 tenants. Now there's pros and cons on Section 8 tenants. If you screen them correctly and you look into their background and you pick the right tenants, then typically you don't have a lot of problems. I still have some problem tenants in my properties, but this tenant is pretty good. I haven't had any issues, and she's been in there for over 2 years now. And so you can see this is guaranteed rent, by the way. Okay, so not only does Section 8 pay higher rents than market rate, but it's guaranteed rent because the government is actually paying you. So there's a whole approval process around that. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more about the Section 8 investing process on buying houses, finding the rent that you could make, and the process of getting approved. But this is guaranteed rent that's coming in every month. And you can imagine during a time like COVID when people couldn't pay rent, where landlords weren't getting paid, this was a very useful thing to have. So rented it out to a tenant, $1,490 a month, still rented today, guaranteed rents. And then what I did was once it was rented out, I refinanced it. So I got a really good deal on this house. I don't typically get houses with this much of a spread every time, but this was a pretty good deal that I found that was sent early on. It's a lot more competitive in this area now. So I got a 4.99% interest rate at the time. Now we have much higher interest rates. It's around 7%. And the house appraised at $110,000. Okay, so that means we hired an appraiser, and they estimated the value of the house with the considering the tenant and considering the rehabs and improvements that we made, and the house was valued at $110,000. Now, why that's great is because the lender will give you a loan, typically 75% LTV, which stands for loan to value. So what that means is they give you 75% of the new appraised value. That's the money that they give you for the loan. So in this case, we get $82,500, which is 75% LTV of the $110,000. Now, here's where it gets pretty cool. you take that number, right? So this is the money that the lender's giving to me after we refinance, and if you subtract my all-in cost, which is $70,500, which is the purchase price that I bought in cash, and the $10,000 that I spent on the rehab, I'm getting $12,000 for free, right? Tax-free money. So this is, I guess you could call it profit, but this is the money that I can take. I can buy another property, and I can repeat this process over and over again if I want to. And that's exactly what I did for the last 3 years. So $12,000 in tax-free money. This is the difference between the loan amount given to me based on the new appraised value. And I can take this money, I can invest it elsewhere, I can buy another property, I can put it into stocks, I can do whatever I want with it, right? But typically I'm just rolling that into another investment property. Now, my expenses, how does this shake out to $559 a month? So in addition to getting this, okay, I have expenses, but I'm still profitable. So I have $58 a month in insurance, $131 a month in property taxes, $149 a month in property management, which is 10% of whatever the rent is. I allocate around $150 a month for maintenance reserves. And then the loan, the mortgage principal and interest is $443 a month. So if we take the rent that we're getting and we subtract the expenses, we have around a $559 a month net profit that I'm making from this property. So now what I have is I have this property, it's rented out, guaranteed rent, $559 a month. I got $12,000 in tax-free money that I can then go and put down 20% on another home, okay? And I can just keep repeating this process over and over. Now, the reason I'm sharing this and how it relates to online business, which is typically what I talk about on my channel, is the way that I got the money, the cash to buy this house and not have to take out a hard money loan was from online business. The way that I have the flexibility to buy multiple properties like this at once in cash and scale a lot faster is from online business. So the strategy is to make money online and to buy more income from real estate offline. So I make money from my online business. I take that money, I invest it into property. I buy more income. So you can see this, the breakdown here, right? I'm getting tax-free money back. I don't always get the same spread back, but I get, in this case, I got a good amount of money back. And now I just bought myself $559 a month in income. So this is the first strategy, the first real estate strategy that I used on my first property. I'm still using it today. This is called the BRRRR strategy. So it stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. It's basically what I'm doing with this. The only difference is I'm renting out to Section 8 tenants because I get higher rent and I can get some pretty good prices on homes that then give me a pretty good spread on the refinance side and still give me a really good monthly net profit. Okay, so if you guys want to see more on this, like if you want to see me break down how I find some of these deals and some of these properties, or you want to see anything around real estate development, the stuff I'm working on now, or anything about just real estate and investing in general, 0% business credit cards, hard money loans, let me know in the comments and I can make more videos around this. Okay, but I hope you found this interesting, hope you found it useful, and I'll see you in the next video.